It can't be that freaking hard, right? Getting healthy, being healthy, staying healthy. I believe that having optimal health is the pathway to living a truly fulfilled life. I'm your host, Ashleigh Mythen, a qualified naturopath who's passionate about finding solutions to your health problems, because your health is my business and healthy starts here. Welcome to the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode. So today I want to talk about 4 tips on avoiding the Christmas binge. I know this is a really big fear of a lot of people. I know this because they've told me, especially after all the restrictions and, maybe gaining a little bit more weight over not being able to go out as much. This Christmas binge is a real fear for people. They're trying to get back into healthy habits and now they're worried about that being a backward step. So these are my 4 tips on helping to avoid that. So number 1, start the day well. I find when we start the day well, what I mean by that, start it with a healthy breakfast. Start it with something that's going to fuel your body the right way and make you feel good. Often when we start the day in a positive way, either I find the things that I like to do is have a really good breakfast and make sure I do some kind of form of movement. If I'm short on time, I just look up some kind of 10-minute yoga or 10-minute workout on YouTube and just get that. Because when you exercise, when you move, you pump endorphins, which make you feel good. Endorphins make you happy. So when you start the day well, when you feel good, you are more likely to make better decisions later on in the day. So that's my first advice. Number 2, slow down. Take a moment, take a breath, and when you're looking at that Christmas spread, allow yourself to choose whatever it is you want to eat. Let go of the judgment and self-doubt. And when you do eat it slowly. Eat it slower, really tasting each mouthful. Put your knife and fork down, maybe in between a few mouthfuls, and let your body really digest the food. This will help release that depriving yourself mindset, which will create stress on the day. It will also allow you to connect with your body and be able to realize when you're full. People who eat slower are shown not only to eat less than people who eat quickly, but they are also shown to be more satisfied by their meals. So not only will you eat less, you'll feel more satisfied. Really just taking that time to slow down. Number 3, enjoy the day. We can put so much pressure on ourselves about eating well and doing the right thing. And one saying that I love is one bad meal isn't going to make you unhealthy, just like one good meal isn't going to make you healthy. So I want you to think about that for a moment. So one bad meal isn't going to make you unhealthy, just like one good meal isn't going to make you healthy. So really take that pressure off yourself and eat, because like I said before, if you eat slowly, you're not going to eat as much anyway. And I find that when we allow ourselves to eat what we want to eat, you might be surprised. I find when you take that pressure off yourself, then people generally have a bit more of a balanced attitude, because sometimes that stress of trying to make the right decision can deter us from making the right decision. So just enjoy the day. Have some fun, because when we're stressed, it can actually put stress on our digestion and our abilities to actually break down the food. You would actually be doing yourself a disservice by just not letting it all go, which brings me to my lucky last number 4 tip. Let it go. Let it go. Binge and emotional eating can extend much further than just one day of the year, as we know, like when things come up, or it can be our go-to, so many people suffer from this. And if we beat ourselves up, we are more likely to repeat the behavior. I mean, it doesn't, by beating yourself up, if you're one of these people who do binge eat and emotional eat, beating yourself up doesn't stop it, does it? So let it go, breathe, move on. If you've eaten that food and acknowledge it and then just let it go. It's done. You've eaten it. It's done. And use it as an opportunity to start observing the thought process that come up when you eat those foods, or after you've eaten those foods, or when you go to a Christmas buffet or however your family like to do Christmas, and ask yourself, just observe what comes up. Look at the way that you're speaking to yourself. And one thing that I think is helpful is when you look at the thoughts that come up for you, realize, like, would you say that to a friend? Because you're basically saying these things to yourself, which is a really important thing to realize, and to realize the power that those thoughts have on our ability to make certain choices. Some other things to start thinking about, and if you're a journaler, you can use this as a journal prompt, is what am I saying about myself and the relationship I have with food? And maybe write it all down. Write down all the things that you think about when you think healthy food or junk food, or all the emotions that come up with that. Just write it all out and just look at it and see if there's a certain pattern there. And then ask yourself, how can I learn from this experience? And again, this is shifting that perspective from, beating yourself up. I should be better. I shouldn't think like this. Should isn't going to help you. So just observe and be curious. Letting go of judgment can allow the space of thoughtful curiosity, which can allow us to learn and grow from our experiences instead of being bogged down by these negative cycles of bad behaviors that don't help us in the long run. I'm also a big fan of affirmations. If you've been listening to my podcast, I talk about them a lot. But I find they're just a great stepping stone in training your mindset to a different attitude, which, like I said, can really impact our choices. How our mind or what we're thinking can really determine the choices we make. And it's so powerful. And to think that we can train it into a more positive way is really exciting. It's empowering. But I know some people aren't open to affirmations, and that's totally okay. You've got to work with what works for you. But just step into this with an open mind and an open heart, with the thought of just being curious and using it as a chance to, and as an opportunity to experiment with affirmations. You're not going to lose anything by giving it a shot. Today I will leave you with an affirmation that you can experiment with. Again, I think it's really important to use a sentence that resonates with you personally, but I think this one could be a good starting point for people who are just getting into that kind of thing. My affirmation for today is, I am learning to connect with my body and give it exactly what it needs at any moment. If we are learning to connect with our body and give it exactly what it needs at any moment, it means that we're going to know when to stop eating, because we're listening to our body. We're connected with our body. We're going to choose foods that our body really needs and really wants to be able to function at its best. But this is a process. So let it go. Observe. Let it go. If you do something, forgive yourself and just move on.
Thank you for listening. It can't be that friggin' hard, right? Be kind to yourself and each other. Till next time.